Petrograd, Russia, February 1917. My dearest Anastasia, it's me, Sasha. Things are well here, as always. If you've noticed, my cousin, the winter is a frigid one, colder than normal. It's the kind of cold that makes you want to wrap your coat around you ever tighter and hurry home to a nice warm fire. Don't you agree? It seems like everything is quite settled here around us, like nothing is going to change. You, my dear Nastya, and your family will rule all of Russia forever. Everything will be as it should be. At least, that's what Papa always tells me. My friend Dmitri, however, thinks something different. He's been attending the university, as you know, and writes to me that things will, in fact, change. There are too many unhappy people in our country for things not to. He acts as if the world is about to end at any minute. Of course, everyone knows there's problems in Russia, but haven't there always been? And there always will be. But sometimes, I'm not sure who to believe. Dear Diary, last night, a surprising turn of events occurred right here in this very house. Dmitri Sergeyevich Bogandov, I've told you about him before, came home to us from the university. He gave us all quite a shock, but it was, for the most part, a happy homecoming. Except for one small fact. He told me that we were all in grave danger. He said that the workers in the poorer class have started to resent the aristocracy. They feel they shouldn't be exploited and starving in the streets while we go off living luxurious and carefree lives. They especially resent the Tsar and his family. They're tired of fighting the war. Everyone knows we're losing, and they want the Tsar to bring us out of it. And they hate his wife, Alexandra, because she's German, and therefore of the enemy. They also say that she is too much influenced by that holy man, Rasputin. As Nicholas is always away at war, he has left his wife to decide things back home. And since Rasputin has so much influence over her because he claims he can heal her sick son, Alexei, the government is now infiltrated with only people who support him. But now he is dead, murdered by Prince Felix Yusupov one cold December night. Dmitri says the people feel they are being oppressed by the Tsar. They feel it is time for a change and want to overthrow him and take matters into their own hands. Dmitri also explains to me why he left the university and why he must stay with me now.
My father was worried about me over there, knowing of my bad temper and all the political tension. The Bolsheviks constantly called for a radical change. I was invited to join them, but my loyalties to Tsar Nicholas were far too strong. I do not agree with all his decisions, but I believe there can be some changes made. One day, I walked into my room to find some fellow students there, holding a letter from you. When I tried to take it from them, they just taunted me. They accused me of hiding my correspondence with the Romanov cousin, and one particular student, Andrei Gorshkov, got especially angry. It became a matter of student against student, ideal against ideal, Bolshevik against Tsarist. Eventually, I couldn't control myself anymore, and soon we were in a fistfight. Someone came eventually, and we were both in trouble. I was permitted to stay at the university, but I thought it best if I go home. But right before I left, Andrei left me a note saying that it wasn't over yet, and that no one loyal to the Tsar could escape.
I am frightened, Diary, for our whole country. I suppose we must wait and see what happens these next few months. Maybe Dmitri was right. Maybe things really are changing. Dear Anastasia, a series of events have occurred that I fear I must share with you. Forgive my untidy scrawl, but my hands are most unsteady, my breath is shallow, and my heart pounds, and I never want to speak to Dmitri Sergeyevich Bogandov ever again. Early this morning, we were walking through the snow-covered streets of the city. All of a sudden, we were met with the sound of angry voices yelling and 1,000 pairs of boots crunching through the snow. We turned a corner to find we were right in the midst of what appeared to be a riot. Around us, people were shouting for justice of food shortages, unfair working laws, and more. We could see some Cossacks and police units around, trying to settle everything down, but it seemed to be only fanning the flames. We kept walking deeper into the tangle of rioters. I saw sympathy in Dmitri as he kept walking. We saw all sorts of people, hungry, dirty, poor, thin, disorganized. I had never seen anything like this before and felt very out of place. They called things like, "Down with the German woman, down with Protopopov, down with the war!" I remember Dmitri telling me earlier that Protopopov, as Minister of the Interior, was unpopular as well because of his closeness with Rasputin and his suspected German ties, also with his little experience with bureaucracy in the police department. They also called for the overthrow of Bloody Nicholas, as they so disrespectfully called the Tsar, as well as the abolition of what they called the bourgeoisie. Suddenly, I didn't want to see this anymore. Take me home, Dmitri. I want to go home, now. Dmitri looked down at me and shook his head.
Do you know, Sasha, how sheltered you are?
Sheltered? What did he mean, sheltered? Take me home, Dmitri, right now.
Sasha, you don't understand. This is the very heart of our city, the backbone of our society. We may not agree with everything they have to say, but we at least have to listen. I don't believe we should abolish the monarchy. I don't agree with the agenda of Lenin or Marx, or any of them. I am loyal to the Tsar and always will be. But as you can see at least, the current system needs some reform. There need to be some changes made.
I don't want to see this. I want to go home. Dmitri just shook his head and angrily stormed out of the crowd. We did not say a word to each other the rest of the way home.
My dear Sasha, it's me, Anastasia. Thank you for your kind letter, which has just come. Now we are, thanks be to God, alive. Everyone is still sick with measles, but I pray we will return to good health soon. We are always so glad to hear from you. We often reminisce and talk about you. I'm sure you've heard by now of Papa's decision to abdicate. We are sitting here, waiting for Papa to come home to us from the front. Mama, however, has been very anxious. She babies Alexei more than ever. It's strange to think we are now prisoners of our own country. Papa tried passing the crown to his brother Mikhail, who refused. He did not want the throne, and the people did not want a Romanov. Papa says that the reason he abdicated, or at least the reason he gave to the public, was a matter of conscience. He felt that it was best for Russia to be without an all-powerful Tsar on the throne. But how can it be best for Russia when they don't have him as a leader? Everything seems sad and empty. Outside, they have placed many guns and soldiers in the courtyard. How astonished Papa will be. I have a feeling that many things are about to change. I will keep writing to you as much as I can. Yours, Anastasia Nikolaevna Romanova.
The summer passes by with tension and fear surrounding us like smoke. The flames of revolution have been ignited, and all over things are changing. Mama and Papa fear for our safety, as some aristocratic families have already been thrown out of their homes and either forced into exile or even killed. The violence and crime on the streets has been escalating with each day that passes. Military deserters, rifles in hand, have joined up with the radicals, terrorizing the city. Our kind is slowly dwindling into nothingness. But here we are, sitting in fear, grasping onto the last remnants of our old life for as long as we can. It is now October. Once again, the people are growing restless. The provisional government is falling apart. Lenin calls for an insurrection and a complete takeover by the Bolsheviks. One day, Dmitri and I are outside running an errand. As we walk, we see people running down the street off to some unknown location. Suddenly, it's as if a whole crowd of people come marching down the street, and we are caught up in it, forced to go along with the tidal wave of revolutionaries. They finally stop in front of a man on a wooden box, standing and waving a red flag. All of a sudden, I hear someone call out the man's name who is at the front. Andrei Gorshkov. I gasp. It's the man that threatened Dmitri from the university. The man smiles a cruel grin, the flash of a revolution in his eyes.
A great change is befalling us! The time has come at last when the rightful leaders of Russia will come to power. We will support our brothers this day of victory as they march on the revolution.
The Bolsheviks really are taking over Russia.
The day is upon us, comrades, and we must embrace it with open arms and bask in the sunlight of a new age. We shall crush all those who oppose us! Not all, Andrei.
When Andrei finally sees Dmitri, who dared to speak out against him, his eyes narrow.
This isn't the way to do things, Andrei. There can be change, but not like this. The government may have been ineffective in many ways, but it's order. It's tradition. The Tsar is still the rightful ruler. Long live Tsar Nicholas II. God save the Tsar.
Andrei pulls a pistol from his pocket. Dmitri does the same.
Now say it again, Dmitri. I dare you. I will say it again, Andrei. Long live Tsar Nicholas II. Long live the Romanovs. Long live the monarchy. And long live Russia. The Tsar and his followers will be no more. Long live the Bolsheviks. Long live...
He's dead.
Long live the Bolsheviks! The mob around us grows into a ferocious state.
Come on, Sasha!
Together, we run out of the mob, Dimitri grabbing my hand and pulling me away from them as fast as we can. Behind us, the crowd is calling for Andrei's murderer. Dmitri Bogandov is a wanted murderer. He killed him. They know! We run home as quickly as possible, then tell our parents everything. When we finish our story, they sit back and sigh. Dmitri stands by the window, facing away and saying nothing. There is only one option left, children. We knew this was coming, but I think the time has come for us to leave Russia. To leave? To leave our home? To leave everything we've ever known?
Don't leave on my account. Don't let me disrupt your lives. I'll go turn myself in.
We knew this was coming. Our lives have already been disrupted and altered so that they will never be the same again. It is too dangerous for us here. And we want to protect Dmitri from...
Hanging?
Hanging? Oh God, they could kill him for this. They would kill him for this. Pack quickly, everyone. We will take the train to the Finnish border, and from there we will cross and take a boat to America.
Uncle Ivan lives there, in New York City. He is sure to take us in.
So be it. Now hurry! So here we are, Diary. At last we are on a ship heading to New York City, America. We got out just in time, and we are safe now for the time being. I can't say the same for everyone else who remains back there, though. I pray for the protection of the Romanovs, especially my dear cousin, Anastasia. I hope that Russia comes out of her bad time soon, and that we can all return and rejoice and be as happy as we once were. But will this happen? Only God knows. Next to me, Dmitri is looking out the porthole, reminiscence in his eyes, and also a glimmer of hope. Hope for a new future. A new future in a new country. It will be different, I'm sure, but we'll just have to go forward and see what the future brings. The Bolsheviks have now officially taken over our country. We are fugitives, and soon we will bring what we know to a new land. May God protect us through that. May He protect us through all of this. Goodbye, Russia, old land of traditions. And hello, America, new land of opportunity.